Hey everyone, Sam here from Silly Stories for Kids. Guess what? Here's another story made up on the spot just for you. We hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's go! One day, 3 little kids named Arlo, Oscar and Ellery were all super duper excited because today was the 1st of December and they were getting to go get a Christmas tree. Now this year was very special because they were going to get a real Christmas tree. So they all got their things. I can't wait, yelled Arlo. Me either, said Oscar. This is going to be the best. Ellery started clapping and yelling and dancing. It was time to jump in the car. So the 3 kids went out to the car and jumped in their seats and they started to drive. But as they started to drive, something very peculiar began to happen. They looked out the window and in the car next to them was a very funny looking man with a very big mustache. He seemed to be tooting and waving at them. Is he waving at us, said Arlo. I think so, said Oscar. Hi, said Oscar, waving back. All of a sudden, the man wound down his window and started yelling something. Mum, can you wind down the window? Okay, said their mum. When they wound down their window, they could hear him starting to yell. Hello, he said. Hi, yelled the kids. Who are you? My name is Bonigo. Hi, Bonigo. What are you doing? Are you kids going to get a Christmas tree? Yes. How did you know? Well, I have been sent to take you to the very special magic Christmas tree farm. Really, they said? Really? Follow me. Can we follow him, Mum, please? Well, I already knew about this. What? Said the kids. What do you mean you knew? Well, that man, his name's Benigo, and he called a few weeks ago and asked if we would like to be the special family that gets to go to the magic Christmas tree farm this year. Hooray! Yelled the kids. That is so much fun. All right, here we go, said their mum as they started to follow Benigo. As they started to follow Benigo in their car, their mum pulled up directly behind his car, and then something very strange happened. The back half of Benigo's car seemed to fold apart, and then there was a ramp right behind him. Do we go up the ramp, Mum? Said Oscar. I think so, she said. Let's go. She drove the car straight up the ramp and into the back of Benigo's car. All of a sudden, Benigo's car enclosed around their car. Okay, kids, you can climb out now. What? Said the kids. They climbed out of their car and moved into the middle of Benigo's car. Why are we in your car, Benigo? Well, your car cannot fly like my car. Fly? Said Oscar. Yes, said Benigo. It is a very special flying car that you need to take to be able to get to the magical Christmas tree farm. Wow, said Ellery. That's incredible. As the car started to drive, it lifted off the ground. All the people in the cars next to them were very surprised to see a car with another car inside of it driving up into the air. The kids all waved out the windows. Hi, they said. The people in the cars looked up in confusion, but waved back anyway. Hi, they said. The car zoomed up into the sky and took off. As they were zooming along through the sky, the kids started to develop some questions. Benigo, what's the magical Christmas tree farm like? Well, said Benigo, all you need to do is remember. We are here. What? Said Oscar. Already? Yes, said Benigo. I have been using the very special speedy button on my car, which is okay when you are flying because you can get to the places that you need to go very, very quickly. As they arrived at the Christmas tree farm, Benigo started to bring the car down, and it parked in the middle of a whole bunch of Christmas trees. As the kids climbed out of the car, they looked around. Wow, these are incredible, they said. They look amazing, but they just look like normal Christmas trees, said Arlo. Yes, said Benigo, but they are anything but normal. Follow me, said Benigo. He walked over to the first tree. The kids looked up. This one looks amazing. It's so tall and so pretty. Yes, and wait till you see what it can do. Benigo walked over to the bottom of the tree. Okay, Arlo, come have a look at this. Okay, said Arlo. Arlo went down and had a very good look at the bottom of the tree. See this bit here? It looks like a little knot in the tree. Yes. That is not just any knot. You can press that button and see what happens. Okay, said Arlo. So Arlo pressed the button, and all of a sudden, the Christmas tree began to sparkle. Then it began to shake, and then every single pine needle on the Christmas tree started to blast out tiny little colourful laser lights. They were zooming in all different directions. It's amazing! It's a party, said Oscar, as he began to dance and wiggle and shake. Arlo joined in as well, and Ellery started to do her dance moves. It was so much fun. I like this one, said Arlo.
Wait till you see the others.
Yes, wait till you see the others,
said a different voice. Uh-oh. Who was that?
No, he better not be here. Quick, find him!
Find who? Said Arlo.
Find Bim Bim!
Yelled Benigo. Oh dear, said Oscar. I've heard about Benigo. Me too, said Arlo. We might be in trouble here.
No, not trouble, only just... Okay, yes, lots of trouble, said Pim Pim.
Where is he? Yelled Oscar. They looked around. I see some purple over here, yelled Ellery. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
There he was, Pim Pim, at the bottom of a tree, standing right next to its button.
Okay, Pim Pim. Now, it is okay if you just press the one button, but do not press any more than one.
Well, I have not just been pressing the buttons. I have been working on all the Christmas trees. I've been working very, very, very hard.
What do you mean working?
Well, I noticed that your special magic Christmas trees had some very okay kind of fun things, but I thought it would be a lot more fun if I added some Pim Pim to the fun Christmas trees.
Pim Pim, that is a very bad idea, said Benigo.
I think that might be a fun idea, said Oscar.
No, Oscar, that is not fun. That is very, very Oh, I better not say that word.
Say what word? Said the kid's mum. Oscar put his hand over his mum's mouth. Mum, you need to be very careful. Don't say that word. Oh, okay, she said.
Okay, Pim Pim, I think we better fix all these trees before you press any of the buttons.
Well, I think that maybe...
Pim Pim started to run.
Beep, 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 beep.
Pim Pim!
Yelled Benigo. The trees started to light up and crazy things began to happen. One of the trees dropped all of its pine needles at one time, and then they all started flying around the sky like little aeroplanes. Wow, said the kids, as the pine needle planes were zooming over the top of them. Then another tree lifted up into the air like a rocket. Then it turned sideways and started blasting in between all the other trees. Wow, said the kids. The rocket blasted straight towards Oscar. Oscar, get out the way, yelled Arlo. But it was too late. It caught the back of his t-shirt and lifted him up into the sky. Wahoo, said Oscar as he started flying around between all the trees. Oscar, are you okay? Said Arlo. This is amazing, yelled Oscar as the rocket tree was blasting him all over the place. While Arlo was looking up in the sky at Oscar, he didn't realise that behind him another tree had started to spin. And as it was spinning, all of a sudden it pushed out some of its branches and it grabbed him. Wow, yelled Arlo. Then it started to tickle him. And then it lifted him up into the air. Wow, yelled Arlo. This is amazing. It was very comfortable, and the flying tree was zooming him around through the sky. There was Oscar and Arlo zooming around on different trees. Ellery was looking at all the different trees as they were starting to move and shake as well. One of them tipped over, so she jumped on top and grabbed hold of some of the pine needles. I think I can control this one, she said, as she pulled the pine needles backwards and the tree took off into the sky. It was like some kind of wind-powered machine. No blasting noises, just very, very quick. The three kids were zooming around through the sky on Christmas trees. Then the Christmas trees on the ground began to do more ridiculous things.
Pim Pim, we need to turn it off.
No, we need to watch and see what happens. Yippee,
said Pim Pim, dancing around, pushing more buttons on more Christmas trees.
No, Pim Pim.
All right, yelled Arlo. I think it's time for us to try and fix this. Oscar, do you think we can do it? How are we going to do it? Well, I have an idea, said Ellery. What's your idea? They yelled, all zooming around in different directions. I think we need to repress all the buttons on the trees to make them stop. Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, how are we going to do it? As the kids were thinking, all of a sudden they saw one of the trees in the middle of the magic Christmas tree farm. It seemed to be shooting pine cones. But not big pine cones, tiny little pine cones in all different directions. Each one of the branches seemed to come away from the tree and it was blasting tiny little pine cones. Maybe we could use those, said Arlo. Good idea, said Oscar. Quick, let's fly down there. So the kids flew down and they pressed the buttons on the trees that were flying them. Then they grabbed one of the branches each and watched as the tiny little pine cones started to blast out the end. They weren't hard enough to hurt anything, but they were going to work for beeping all the buttons. Arlo pointed his at one of the trees that was spinning and shooting things in every direction, and he hit the button at the bottom with the pine cones. Beep! The tree slowed down. It's gonna work! I reckon we should jump on Ellery's flying tree and we can do this together. Ellery, do you want to drive? Sure, said Ellery. So, Oscar and Arlo hopped on the back with their branches shooting tiny little pine cones, and Ellery flew the Christmas tree through the middle of all the other trees. As she zoomed, the boys used their pinecone blasters to hit the button on every single tree in the entire magical Christmas tree farm. Beep, 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 beep. As the trees slowly stopped and went back to normal, the kids zoomed down to the middle of the Christmas tree farm and stopped right next to Benigo, who had caught Pim Pim and was holding him very, very tightly.
Okay, well done, kids. That is fantastic. I'm so proud of you. I could not have done this without you. And Pim Pim, you have been very, very cheeky.
I know, it is so much fun. It is the best way to be. A little bit cheeky and a little bit of Christmas tree. And okay, which Christmas tree can I take home?
Said Pim Pim. Oh dear, said Benigo.
You can have this one,
he said to Pim Pim, and chopped down one of the trees and handed it to him.
Oh, this one looks good. What does this one do?
He grabbed the bottom of the Christmas tree and started trying to push the button.
It's not working, Bonigo.
Yes, this is the only Christmas tree in the whole magical Christmas tree farm that is just a normal Christmas tree.
Oh, said Pim Pim. The kids all laughed. As they were laughing, the kids' mum came over to see what was happening. She raced over. Kids, what was all that? That was crazy. Uh-oh, said the kids.
Oh dear, said
Benigo. Pim Pim's eyes lit up.
Did somebody say crazy? What?
Pim Pim started blasting all over the Christmas tree farm again, zooming off in every direction. Quick, catch him, yelled Oscar. So Oscar, Ellery and Arlo jumped back on the flying Christmas tree and zoomed off after Pim Pim. As they were flying, they could see him zooming and blasting in every direction, getting caught in trees and knocking out pine cones and getting completely covered in pine needles. We're almost there, yelled Arlo, as he jumped off the Christmas tree and grabbed hold of Pim Pim. Pim Pim slowly stopped and looked at the kids.
Thank you, he said. That was starting to get a little bit ridiculous, and I was worried I was going to press all the buttons again.
Yeah, so were we, said Arlo. Definitely, said Oscar. They picked him up and carried him back to the middle of the Christmas tree farm.
Okay, kids, you get to pick your Christmas tree now, and I will send it back to your home.
Can we take the flashy laser light one? Said the kids.
Definitely,
said Benigo. And with a click of his finger, the tree disappeared from the Christmas tree farm and reappeared back in their lounge room. With that, Benigo took the kids back home, and when they came in the driveway, some of their friends were out the front. Hey, guys, there's some kind of big flashing party light going on inside your house. What's happening? Well, said Arlo, I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you. And that is the end of the story.
This episode is brought to you by Bonigo's Magic Christmas Tree Farm, the best farm for finding a Christmas tree that decorates and creates itself. We hope that you have been enjoying the silly stories for kids. Head over to the website for ways to get involved or to join the family. This has been me, Bonigo.
And me, Sam. We'll see you soon.